All right, but where we're going to start, and you would have heard a lot about this in the last 12 hours, a comprehensive package of reforms to the benefit system. It's been unveiled by the government that they say will shift more people off job seeker support into employment. But at the same time, for those that don't meet their obligations, will face tougher consequences. Social Development and Employment Minister Louise Upton said there are responsibilities that come with receiving a benefit, and there will be no more excuses for job seekers not knowing what their responsibilities are. Now, there is a lot to get through, but for this interview, we'll just condense quickly, because we don't like to leave people waiting. All beneficiaries with work and social obligations will be categorised in either green, yellow or red. You have heard of this traffic light system. Certain beneficiaries on red will face new sanctions, including a money management card, where half of a person's benefit goes onto a payment card that can only be used to purchase certain essentials. The ACT Party welcomed the new money management sanction, which was part of the ACT National Coalition Agreement. And ACT Party leader David Seymour joins me now. David, a very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Leah.
Always good, and I appreciate your time. Now, with you in this conversation, I just want to focus, because I know you're busy, on the electronic income management. This technology already exists, doesn't it, in the system for youth and young parent beneficiaries. So how is this different, or will be different? And wasn't this one of ACT's ideas?
Good to talk to you. And yes, it's been used in Australia. It's used in New Zealand for youth beneficiaries. The basic idea is you get a plastic card. It can only be used to purchase certain things. We called it electronic income management. It's been rolled out as money management, which I have to admit is a bit catchier. And so it's a good policy victory, I think, for everybody involved. What it really does is it solves a simple problem that New Zealanders ultimately, some people talk pretty tough, but they're not really going to want to see people on benefits, especially households with kids, left with no money at all. But most New Zealanders were going to say we think there should be a safety net. However, if you say that, and if people know that you're always going to give them money at the end of the day, then it gets pretty hard to put in place any real sanctions or make people take the same sort of responsibility as taxpayers earning the money have to. So giving the money in the form of a plastic card that can only be used for certain things is a solution to that. So people will say, oh, it's terrible, it's not fair, what about my freedom to spend my money? And the answer is, of course, well, it's actually not your money, it's taxpayers' money, and if you want the freedom to spend it however you like, then you should do what all the people paying for the benefits do, wake up, go to work, get a job, and earn the money, and then you get the same choices as those people. So I think it's a good step. At the moment, you get money management for 4 weeks if you don't carry out your work obligations, like showing up for interviews and making a good effort to get a job and improve yourself. So that's good. ACT would say, look, if you continue to have children while you're on a benefit, or if you are on a benefit for, say, more than 6 months under any circumstances, except, of course, people who are medically unable to work, that's a different story. But people on unemployment benefit, people on sole parent support, DPB it used to be called, if you keep having kids on a benefit, or if you don't get a job within 6 months, then you go on electronic income management. And I think we should go further, and we're still going to keep talking to our partners in government about that. But for the meantime, I'm just really pleased to see that there's a bit of fairness coming back into the system.
As usual, David, well done. You've preempted pretty much most of my questions on that. But I do want to circle back to you. That's all right. That you said
you should interrupt like most interviewers.
No, well, I like to let my interviewees have their say. So you believe the tool should be used to those that keep having children while on the benefit, and you said you'll keep continuing to talk to the rest of the government. Do you think they would include that in the future? Because some would say it's not the government's role to tell families how many children they can have.
Oh, well, with that I completely agree.